Most of us have a bottle of castor oil sitting in the back of a cabinet somewhere, usually left over from something our grandparents swore by. But if you actually look at what this thick yellow oil can do, it is one of the most versatile bottles you can own. In fact, I found that this $8 bottle replaces about $150 worth of specialty products that were cluttering my garage, my bathroom, and my garden shed. They don't talk about it because they'd rather sell you a dozen different bottles for a dozen different jobs. So today we are counting down 20 ways to use castor oil that most people have completely forgotten about. Number 20, fixing squeaky door hinges. Most people reach for that blue can of spray lubricant the second a hinge starts squeaking. But that stuff is petroleum-based, and it actually attracts more dust over time, which makes the squeak come right back. It's thick enough to stay put instead of dripping everywhere, and it won't gum up like the spray can does. One application can last for months.
Number 19, conditioning leather. If you've got boots, a baseball glove, or a belt that's gone stiff and cracked looking, don't throw it out. Rub a small amount of castor oil into the leather with a soft cloth and let it sit for a few hours. It soaks into the fibers and brings back that softness without leaving a greasy residue behind. This is the same trick old-school glove makers used long before leather conditioner came in a fancy tin. Your grandfather's work boots probably lasted twice as long because of a trick just like this one. Number 18, polishing wood furniture. Store-bought furniture polish is mostly just oil and a fragrance you're paying extra for. Mix a tablespoon of castor oil with a little beeswax and warm it gently until it melts together, then rub a thin layer onto wood furniture with a cloth. It fills in tiny scratches and brings back the shine without that sticky buildup you get from spray polish. One batch of this will last you through an entire house full of furniture. Number 17, seasoning cast iron. If your cast iron pan has gone dull and a little sticky, here's the fix. Rub a thin coat of castor oil over the whole pan, inside and out, and bake it upside down in the oven for an hour. The heat bonds the oil to the metal and builds that smooth, non-stick coating back up. It's a thicker oil than most people use, so it builds a deeper layer with fewer coats. Number 16, rust-proofing your garden tools. Before you put your shovels and pruners away for the season, wipe the metal parts down with a castor oil rag. It creates a barrier that keeps moisture off the metal, which is exactly what causes rust in the first place. Your tools come out next spring ready to go instead of orange and seized up. Number 15, loosening a stuck zipper. We've all had a jacket or a bag with a zipper that just won't budge. Rub a tiny bit of castor oil along the teeth with a cotton swab and work it back and forth a few times. It's thick enough to coat the teeth without soaking into the fabric around it. That zipper you were about to give up on works smooth again in under a minute. Number 14, removing sticker residue. If you've ever peeled a price tag or a label off something and been left with that sticky mess, soak a cloth in castor oil and lay it over the spot for a few minutes. The oil breaks down the adhesive so it wipes away clean instead of you scraping at it with your fingernail. Works on glass jars, plastic containers, pretty much anything with old glue residue. Okay, we're a quarter through the list, and we've already replaced half a dozen things people buy separately at the hardware store. But stick with me because the next ones get into the garden, and this is where it gets really interesting. Number 13, repelling moles from your lawn. If moles have torn up your yard, you already know how frustrating it is. Mix 2 parts castor oil with 1 part dish soap until it turns foamy. Then dilute a couple tablespoons of that into a gallon of water and pour it over the molehills and tunnels. Moles can't stand the taste or the smell of it, and it upsets their stomach just enough that they relocate somewhere else. It won't hurt them, it just makes your lawn a place they don't want to be anymore. University extension researchers have actually tested this method and found it reduces mole activity for a month or more. Number 12, keeping skunks out of the garden. Same exact mixture as the moles. Skunks dig through garden beds looking for grubs, and they hate the taste of castor oil just as much as moles do. Spray it around the perimeter of your vegetable beds, and they'll move on to easier ground. No traps, No calling anyone, just one bottle doing two jobs of a natural bug spray additive. Mosquitoes and fleas aren't fans of castor oil either. Mix it with a few drops of citronella or lavender essential oil and a little water in a spray bottle, and you've got a natural repellent you can use around the porch or the patio. It's not going to replace the heavy-duty stuff for a bad infestation, but for keeping bugs off you on a summer evening, it does the job without the chemical smell. Number 10, lubricating kitchen shears and scissors. Most lubricants you wouldn't want anywhere near your food. Castor oil is different. A drop on the hinge of your kitchen shears keeps them cutting smooth, and because it's food safe, you don't have to worry about a little bit ending up on your cutting board. It's the same reason it shows up in some food-grade machinery. Number 9, conditioning rubber seals and gaskets. The rubber seal on your washing machine door or around your refrigerator can dry out and crack over time, and once it does, you're looking at a real repair bill. Wipe a thin layer of castor oil onto the rubber every few months. It keeps the material flexible instead of brittle. A 2-minute job now can save you from replacing a seal later. All right, we're halfway through, and the next ones are where this bottle really starts pulling its weight, because we're moving into the stuff that actually saves money on things you use on your own skin. Number 8, softening dry heels and elbows. Castor oil is thick, almost syrupy, which is exactly why it works so well as a moisturizer for the driest parts of your body. Rub a small amount into your heels and elbows before bed, and pull on a pair of socks. By morning, that cracked, rough skin is noticeably softer. It's a heavier oil than most lotions, so a little bit goes a long way. Number 7, softening cuticles before a manicure. If you do your own nails at home, warm a few drops of castor oil between your fingers and massage it into your cuticles before you push them back. It softens them up so you're not fighting with dry skin, and it conditions the nail bed at the same time. Salons charge extra for this exact step. Number 6, a natural lip balm base. If your lips are cracked and chapped, the American Academy of Dermatology actually lists castor seed oil as an ingredient to look for in healing lip products. You can dab a small amount straight onto your lips or melt it with a little beeswax to make your own balm at home. Either way, it's the same active ingredient you're paying premium prices for in the tube. Now, real quick, have you ever wondered why castor oil is so thick compared to other oils? It's because it's made up almost entirely of one specific fatty acid called ricinoleic acid, and that fatty acid is what makes it so good at holding moisture against your skin instead of evaporating off like a lighter oil would. That same thickness is exactly why it works on leather, wood, and rubber too. It's one ingredient doing all of this. Number 5, the old-fashioned remedy our grandparents swore by. If you grew up around grandparents or great-grandparents, there's a good chance you heard about taking a spoonful of castor oil for an upset stomach. This is actually the only use of castor oil that's recognized by the FDA, and it works as a natural laxative for occasional constipation. I want to be straight with you on this one, though. It's strong, it's meant for short-term use only, and you should talk to your doctor before trying it, especially if you're pregnant or dealing with any ongoing stomach issues. It's not something to use regularly, but it's worth knowing why it earned its spot in so many medicine cabinets for so many generations. Before we get to number 1, if you're enjoying these old-school practical tips that actually save you money, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next one. All right, let's get back to it. Number 4, polishing stainless steel and chrome. If your kitchen faucet or appliance handles have water spots and smudges that won't budge, put a few drops of castor oil on a soft cloth and buff it in small circles. It cuts through the grime and leaves a streak-free shine without scratching the finish, and it actually leaves a light protective layer behind, so fingerprints and water spots show up slower next time. Number 3, conditioning leather work gloves before winter. Before the cold weather sets in, rub castor oil into the leather of your work gloves, the same way you would with boots. It keeps the leather from drying out and cracking in cold, dry air, which is when leather damage happens the fastest. A pair of gloves treated like this can outlast a pair you never condition by years. Number 2, storing it the right way so it doesn't go to waste. Most people just toss their bottle in a cabinet and forget about it. But castor oil can go rancid if it's left somewhere warm or sunny, and once it does, it loses a lot of what makes it useful. Keep it in a cool, dark place, like a cabinet away from the stove or a window. If it ever starts smelling sour or off instead of that faint, natural smell, it's time to replace it. One $8 bottle stored right can last you a couple of years. Last, but not least. Number 1. Getting rid of moles for good without an exterminator. I put this at the very top because lawn damage from moles is genuinely one of the more expensive problems homeowners deal with, and most people don't realize the fix might already be sitting in their bathroom cabinet. Between reseeding torn-up patches of grass and the cost of professional mole removal services, this is a problem that can run you hundreds of dollars a year if you let it keep happening. The same castor oil and dish soap mixture from earlier, applied consistently after rain or watering, keeps moles moving through your yard instead of moving in. No contracts, no traps, no poison around your kids or pets. Just one bottle, used right, doing a job that companies charge a small fortune for. 20 uses, one bottle. Which one of these are you going to try first? Did you already know about some of these, or is there one I missed that you use in your own house? Drop it in the comments and let me know. I read every single one of them. And if this helped you get more out of something you probably already own, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.